guys, it's Lisa with Avery's Healthy Journey. We are here today and we're gonna do some food prep. You can see all these veggies and fruits set out here. We have lots of preparations to do, so we're gonna get started today. I got my little cheat sheet here. We're gonna do some salad veggies so that we have a big bowl. We're gonna fill the to go along with the lettuce that I'm gonna chop up. We're gonna do sandwich veggies so that we have veggies prepped for going into sandwiches and wraps. Pan prep because I have a recipe coming up with shrimp, broccoli, mushrooms, onions. So I did another grocery delivery and man, I gotta go back and check to see if I ordered Brussels sprouts or I just thought about ordering them, but they didn't get included on the order. So we'll see about that. And then I'm gonna dice up some extra tomatoes and onions just for, you know, whatever throughout the week. And then we got fruit. I'm gonna cut up strawberries and a pineapple, throw it in a bowl with some blueberries. Everything is washed and ready to go. So let's get going. We got a lot of chopping to do. So I thought I'd take you along today on the chopping adventure. What's first? Onions. Okay. So for the salad, I'm gonna do a red onion. And it's just, everything for the salad is gonna be like kind of a, what I call like a rough chop. So nothing is gonna be real like small or shaped or anything like that. I hope I can do this, talk and work at the same time. You guys, let me know how you chop your onions. I know that there are different ways to chop them. I remember even doing a video once, watching a video on how to chop an onion because I didn't think I was chopping it right. And like there's all kinds of dicing machines and chopping tools out there. Like what do you guys have that you use to make your kitchen processing more efficient of processing to, you know, for food prep and meal prep? This is just, again, chopping. Rough chopping. Oh, and I even have my little over here. But that's why I cut these onions into rough slices and then just chop them into dices. And ooh, here come the tears. I can start to feel it. I try to do the onions really fast and get them out of the way. But who else cries when they cut? It's bad. And again, so this is how we like our salads, but you can put anything you want in a salad. So that's the cool thing about salads. You can kind of however you want them. Whew, it's starting. Almost done. I gotta cut more onions later, but for a bit. I love red onions. We actually love all onions. So these tears out of my eyes. Rinse my knife off and my cutting board. But I do have this like garbage bowl over here, so I just throw the like waste or, you know, seeds, whatever in there. So next we're gonna do a green pepper. So yeah, those onions are rough, but like I said, we love onions. So we have white, red, and sweet over there, and I mix it up all the time. Sometimes I put all three in recipes. So it just really depends on what I'm making, how much time I have, what I have in hand. I'm not a super fast chopper, so nobody judge that. But let me know in the comments, what are some things you like in your salads? We're gonna be doing today cucumbers, peppers, radishes, got the onions, what else? Carrots and celery. But, I mean, really, the options are endless for what you can do in your salad. Now, we don't always have salads every week. This meal prep doesn't happen every week, but periodically we'll do a major veggie meal prep. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's on the smaller side. It all just depends, you know, on what we got going on. Okay, so the cucumber, again, I said all this is already washed, but because anyway, I like, so not that anything is size or anything. I do like my cucumbers a little bit on the smaller side. Goes into quarters and then just do it like that. And this is the English cucumber. Well, it's supposed to be seedless. what I was going to use, but not put all the cucumber in this. Another bowl. Done. Have these red and yellow peppers. I think I'm gonna do like half of one red, half of one yellow for right now. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of those, but maybe it'll be for another sheet pan. It's always good to just, you know, have some stuff on hand as well as everything all at once. But that is the thing about veggies. You do need to use them within a timely manner or go bad. Sometimes veggies go bad and I can't use them or get them all used up in the time frame that we need to. Or we have the best of intentions of cooking and then we end up not cooking because we're busy or something else comes up. Decided pizza that night. All right, so next we're gonna do some radishes. I love radishes, but I do not love cutting them. Little high maintenance boogers because it's just about chopping. But, and does anybody else do this? Growing up, my parents had a garden, and man, I regret all the time. I mean, not regret, but like I miss those times, and I wish I appreciated vegetables then like I do now. Because growing up, it was just more of a nuisance. Like we had to hoe and pull weeds and, you know, shell peas, and I mean, it was just like, it was a lot of work. Anything that is worth something is a lot of work, but it was just, I mean, it was so bountiful and they had the best garden. If I could just get those days back. Roy and I, we set up a garden here in the backyard, and for one summer we had some things in it, but we just got so busy with our work that spend the time really that it took to do it properly. Never pursued the garden anymore, but we always talk about it and we still would like to. But growing up, we had like my dad even planted corn on the cob, 2 or 3 rows of corn. He would plant potatoes, and boy, when it was time to plow for potatoes, it was like a neighborhood event. And all the kids came out in the neighborhood to help, and we would have contests like who would find the biggest potato or the like weirdest shaped potato. And he grew cantaloupe. I just still remember the smell of it. Like it was probably the best cantaloupe I've ever had. So they moved to a different house. It's been, well, they're in their 80s now too, so they don't garden, but they moved from that house that we grew up in to a different, it's been 3, my dad turned 60, so it's been 20 years, 24 years, something like that. They never grew vegetables at their new house like they did at the old house. They never had a garden. They grew some things, but oh, now I'm chopping the celery. I bought celery that was pre-sliced, and sometimes I'll do shortcuts with things just to make it easier. I bought these celery sticks. I feel like there's more than a stalk's worth of celery sticks in here, but they're already like cleaned and pre-cut, so dry ends off. And then sometimes I'll cut them down the middle to make this. Oh, you know what I did not put on this prep list, and I forgot that we were going to make it, is chicken noodle soup, also why I have the celery. So the other thing that I cut corners with are the carrots, because I am not a fan of cutting. But I like these matchstick carrots, and what I do is just, sometimes I'll rough chop them, sometimes I'll just throw them in. I think I'm just going to throw them in. There, boom, done. So you see all the layers are starting to come together. What else? Onion, pepper, cucumber, radishes, carrots, celery. All right, that is actually everything that's going into our salad mix. So I got 2 heads of lettuce, 1 just regular leaf lettuce, and I'm going to tear a couple of these leaves off, or not a couple, but a few of these leaves off for sandwiches. So we have those, you know, for sandwiches or wraps or whatever we put lettuce on this week. Everything else is gonna get chopped. And I like it in kind of like smaller pieces. I don't know if you noticed, I did put a lot of this stuff into smaller little bites. So I'll go through this a couple times. And then this will go in a bag. I mean, you could put this on sandwiches too, but I just left a couple leaves off. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes we buy pre-bagged lettuce. It all depends. So again, use your shortcuts when you have to, and don't feel bad about using shortcuts, because the key to eating healthy is being prepared. So if it's a matter of, you know, you're not gonna take the time to cut up the lettuce, you can buy a bag of lettuce. You're already ahead of the game. So buy the bagged lettuce. We're doing meal prep, so I bought some lettuce, but we do eat bagged lettuce. All right, and then this is the red. We like to mix it up too. I mean, we love variety, so sometimes it's this leaf lettuce, sometimes it's romaine, whatever. Sometimes it's iceberg. Because sometimes you just feel like a good old iceberg lettuce salad. At least I do. I feel like lettuce is everywhere. All right, and with that, we're done with our salad veggies, and then we're gonna move on to our sandwich veggies, which we already started. So we got the lettuce, we just need to slice a tomato and an onion. All right, we're just gonna put the lid on this, our salad veggie. Shake it all up. And then we just put a plop of lettuce in the bowl, a plop of veggie mix in the bowl, and then anything else that we want. If we want to add a little bit of cheese, olives, or almonds, or what else? That's about it. I love croutons, but I'm trying to not add to my salad. Into the fridge we go. All right, next we're going to cut up this tomato for sandwich veggies or wraps. So right now I'm just gonna slice it. And if I wanted kind of smaller or different sliced configurations, I'll do that at the time. Prepping at least, these will be cut, ready to go in a bowl. We come to the fridge. We like to have them with lunch meat, or sometimes just like a grilled quesadilla with some tomato, and this is going to go into our chopped tomatoes. And the chopped tomatoes are just for whatever. The chopped tomatoes are for the salad too, but I do not like to mix them into the main mix. For whatever reason, it just like, they get mushy and then everything gets mushy. Does that make sense? So these, and then I have another tomato that I'm going to chop in a minute, using every part of the tomato. You guys know how expensive food is these days, and you just can't waste anything. It's ridiculous. Like, you got to eat all the little bits, little butt too. We are a big proponent of glass bowls here at Avery's Healthy Journey. Mainly glass. There is some plastic that we'll use occasionally, but we love the Pyrex with the plastic lids. I'm reordering these lids a lot of times because, like, you can see this one, it's a little rip in it, but it's still functional. So the tomatoes are done. Looks and smells good. So again, these are slices. I like to try to make them as thin as possible. It's not like really thick, but I'm not very good at making them very thin either. Or fast. You guys have to bear with me because I'm not fast at any of this. And then I'm also trying to talk, multitasking and doing two things at once. And here come the tears. So this is just broccoli that's gonna get cut up into bite-sized pieces. Because the sheet pan is literally, well, the protein is gonna be shrimp this time, but sheet pan meals can be anything you want them to be. They're so easy. You put everything on the sheet pan, you put it in the oven for whatever temperature you bake it. It's done here. And then what I'll do is then just marinate it lightly with whatever I'm feeling at the moment. It's probably going to be like some G. Hughes sauce or marinade, probably the teriyaki, free sesame teriyaki. So we use that a lot. And it has a really good flavor and very low in points. So I might split this in half and just use half of it, just cook half of it as a side dish for something, to have a cooked veggie. Keep it and eat it raw. But again, it's prepped, it's ready to go. Like, I can do whatever I want with it now. You know, it's clean and ready to eat. That's half the battle, right? More. Yeah, I might put some of this aside as a crudité veggie, some ranch dip. Okay guys, we're still on sheet pan prep. We just did the broccoli. We're gonna do another onion. But I wanted to show you what else is going in the sheet pan dish is 2 boxes of mushrooms. We just got regular white mushrooms, and then some baby bellas. These are both already shredded, sliced. So again, convenience. And then I got these carrots that are already sliced, crinkle cut. Open the package, boom, you're done. So, and then for the soup, the chicken noodle soup, we're gonna use the matchstick carrots. And then what I'll do is I'll put them on the cutting board and just do a rough chop. So they're not like long matchsticks, but they're chopped down a little bit. That works great for soups. All right, I'm gonna rough chop this onion too. Again, because for sheet tray meals, sheet pan meals, it's just big and chunky ingredients, and so you want more of the surface area. You don't want small diced, you want big diced. So I'm going to just quarter these slices and call it a day. And they'll cook down a bit, but you know, once this piece is cooked down and softened and baked, it's gonna meld with all the other flavors on the tray. Does anybody else try to get the exact size right for whatever it is you're putting in? Like, it can't be too big, it can't be too small, it has to be just right. One of my many little weird idiosyncrasies, I'm sure. All right, so that's the sheet pan prep, that's done. So now we got extra veggies. So we started chopping the tomatoes, and I'm gonna chop this tomato I'm gonna dice it. When it starts to get that hard center cut up, I'm gonna just chop all the sides down. I don't know if this is all gonna fit in that little bowl. Okay, we got a red onion in the salad. We got the yellow onion for the sheet pan in the salad. No, what else did I do? Yellow, the slices. So I'm going to do a sweet onion for the diced onion. That will give us some onion variety for the week. Let's see if this one makes me cry too. But I always try to chop them really fast. Just never fast enough. I know there's another way to dice onion where you only chop down so far into like the stem, and then you cut down on one side, then you cut down the other way, and I just find this way is faster to get through this whole onion. Boom. We're getting down through it, guys. That's it for the veggies. We're done with veggies now. We are going to move on to fruit. And that's going to be easy because it's just a pineapple and strawberries. The blueberries are already done. All right, guys, we're on the fruit. We're on the last leg of food prep for the week. We're putting all the fruit in one container. So there's going to be blueberries, strawberries, and pineapple. Because we like it all mixed up. And it just makes it easier, right? So we're going to cut these strawberries up. I like to really just cut them in half. Just so they're like bite-sized. They don't have to be teeny tiny, but they don't have to be huge either. It's November, so I know it's not the season for strawberries, but I mean, you gotta just get what you can whenever you can and hope that it tastes okay, right? So, I mean, they're not terrible. Like, they smell good. They're good, but it's not like springtime strawberries. Tiny. Put in the comments, what are some of your favorite fruit? I know these are some of mine. Strawberries, blueberries, pineapple, but watermelon is also a favorite. So refreshing. Eat practically the whole thing. I like to eat apples. I never know which ones to get. If you have a favorite apple variety, put that in the comments too. I'd like to hear and why you like it. I usually just buy what looks good when I'm in the store. We are almost done. This was delivered. It looks very ripe to me, which is not necessarily a bad thing because we can use it right away. But if we wanted to eat it right away and it wasn't ripe, or it's too ripe, so I think we cut the top off. Then we just start going down into this with this. I'm not 100% sure, but hope for the best. I don't know if you guys have ever tried one of these before, but I remember the first time trying it, I was like, oh my gosh, where's this been all my life? Let's see if I'm gonna stop. Okay, then I think you're just supposed to pull and it comes out. I think. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Did it! Ta-da! I don't know what to do with that. What would you guys do with that core? And then I think that's when you take this off. I'm not sure if this is how you're supposed to go. And then it can just slide off like that. Yes, maybe. And then it's really easy from there. Whoa. Man, they're not picking it, but that is really good. But it does seem pretty ripe. So we're gonna have to eat this fast. That's okay. We're not gonna waste any food. A good go-to snack if your sweet tooth is kicking in. All right, guys, that's it. That wraps up the video with the beautiful fruit bowl. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you find some time in the near future to do some meal prepping. It doesn't have to be this elaborate, just do a little bit at a time so that you're prepared for the next day or two. Plan a day, maybe on a weekend when you have a little more time to do a bigger prep. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.